Today is one of many open days here at UWE.
So we've come up with a list of all the ways that you can survive Bower. Here's Tish now.
Oh, sorry I'm late, guys. Been queuing for this coffee.
Oh, well, it is 12:30.
Rule number 1, avoid traders at lunchtime.
Right, okay.
Rule number 1, don't expect the bus timetables to be accurate, so get here early for your bus. And if it's late, don't be surprised that you're waiting.
Just film the bus, film the bus. UWE Bower Ashton has their very own smoking shelters. Not that anyone's in here. Don't come outside for a chat with your friends because you won't be able to hear anything because this building works 24/7. Although this loud building works, at least we have a nice view.
UWE has its own cash machine, but there's never ever any cash in it. So make sure you bring your own, because you've got to spend £3 minimum to use your cards.
Get into traders after a certain time and it's nice and quiet and you won't have to queue for your food. Although I'd not recommend getting the chicken. There's limited parking here at Bower Ashton, so you're going to have to get here early if you want to get a space. Snoopy-doos!
Oh, I got to park up the hill! See you in a bit. Bower Ashton has quite a big library, and I'd recommend doing some work here, because remember, you won't get any done at home.
Shh, it's a library.
So if you're vegan,
Or you like medium lattes.
you sorted here. So Bower.
And don't be alarmed if you see people jumping about, screaming barefooted downstairs. That'll be the drama students. You gonna be professional this time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
So those are our tips of how you can survive Bower if you decide to come here next year.
And we've come up with a list of students' biggest bugbears, so we're going to have a look at some. So,
So the first one are the cost of books and of course essentials. So my tip for you for that, get it second hand. So previous students, buy it off them who doesn't need it anymore, or go to the library and use the books from there.
And that's not really a problem when you get past first year anyway, is it? Because you buy it all at the start.
and also the library, like you can, there's loads of books in the library, but also you can request for a book to be bought by the library, by the uni, if it's for educational purposes.
Even I didn't know that, so that's a really good tip.
Yeah, save you money.
Bugbear number 2.
So bugbear number 2, lack of access to teaching staff. So I would recommend when you first start at uni to get all your tutor's emails and to also ask them what their office hours are, because obviously like they'll be teaching other courses as well, and like sometimes they won't be available to speak to you. So if you know the information, then you can go and see them at specific times.
Another bugbear we found was the outdated facilities on the campus, but I don't think any of us would complain about the facilities here at Bower. We've had an updated SU, which is really nice.
Yeah.
The canteen's been improved.
Yeah, there's a new
Library,
The
yeah.
library's been done out better, and all the facilities for your courses as well are top of the range here.
It's all
so that's
pretty
not a
high
problem.
tech.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Or the
That's right, we can use that, we can do that as a cut. Start again.
Yeah, however, if you do want to do any other activities like sports activities or something like that, you will need to go to French A. I think Bower does lack quite a lot of activities here.
Yeah.
It's more up there, so.
Another criticism we hear from some people is how far away campus is from the city centre. But here at Bower, that's not really a problem, is it?
No.
Because you can walk it in just over half an hour.
It's not far.
Yeah.
There's regular buses that take 10-15 minutes to get there. And plus you've got North Street as well, and there's plenty of pubs down there, so
So
it's
that's
not a
in
problem.
Bedminster, so that's not far from here.
And then our last bugbear is poor quality student accommodation.
Hello and welcome along to Naphisha Question Time with me, Nathan Bees. This week our big debate is whether living at home is better than living in accommodation when you're at uni. So first up, on my right is Naphisha Davison, who's going to give us a pro about living in accommodation.
So I'd say more independence, definitely, and it's very sociable. So where I lived in halls, there's like well over 500 students living there, so there's always someone to talk to and places to go.
Excellent, thank you Natasha. Sophie, a pro about living at home.
I think the biggest pro would have to be my car. I can keep my car on the drive. I drive into uni, I drive out of uni. It's a lot easier getting around when you have a car and you don't have to wait for buses and things like that.
Again, another point well made. Natasha.
A con?
A con.
Yeah. I'd say a con is how expensive it is. So, especially in first year when you're paying for halls, it's very, I think it was like $5,500 a year, so it's very expensive. I mean, and that's for 9 months as well. So, yeah, that's definitely a con.
That's about the price of a meal in Traders. Sophie, a con.
A con would be you don't get that independence that you would from like moving out, like you still live with your parents. You don't have that uni lifestyle, but then you do have money. You don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay bills because it's done for you.
Cool. Natasha, have you got any more pros about living in accommodation?
No.
She doesn't have any more pros about living in accommodation. Sophie, do we have any more pros about living at home?
My praise is that I didn't have to move away from my family and friends. Personally, I didn't want to do that. But then a con, I felt like you don't go out as much with your new friends. So yeah.
It did take until the end of first year for our group to even go out on a social. But then since then, we found it really easy to be able to do those sorts of things, go out for drinks, have nights out. So if you make the effort, you can fit in anyway.
Yeah, I'd say another tip is just dive straight into it. Like, everyone's in the same boat, so don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, you might find it embarrassing, but
When you live at home or not, just socialise with people in your course because you will find it easier. And I think being at Bower, you probably will be doing quite a creative course and you will need to socialise with a lot of people in your course.
So can we unanimously say or agree that it doesn't matter if you live in accommodation or at home, you can still have a great social life when you come to Bower?
I think we will have a brilliant social life and a brilliant time in the 3 years here.
yeah, I agree.
Getting me emotional, we're going to have to end it there. Thank you for joining me on the Naphisha Question Time. Cut. To hold them because right, so okay. Sure, right, okay. Sorry, didn't mean anything.
So if you've got any questions for us,
Like start at Bower Ashton campus in September.
And feel free to leave a comment below and we'll try to respond to as many as we can.
She's full of job now, better go.
oh, you just reminded me, so have I.
Hey guys! Oh, I'll pat the camera away then, shall I? Typical.